this more of an indictment on Monty or Troy Weaver or Tom, whatever the indictment is on. But Jerasian Langdon and JB Bickerstaff came and cleaned it up, pretty easy. And kind of like, and that's kind of one of the videos for the off season, but it is what it is. We can readdress it then. 7 in a row right now. The players are happy. Guess what? You still don't see a lot of time Gores and they win it. Didn't see a lot of time Gores and they was losing. People's complaining about it. Losing just make people more miserable. Losing just make people more meticulous and looking for errors or looking for issues. Because then on the flip side of it, you have people that say, well, the owners is too involved like Jerry Jones, like Dan Snyder when he owned the Commanders. And then when you lose, ownership is kind of often enough and let people do their job. But you're really looking at where they went wrong at, and from Monty's standpoint, where he went wrong at. It just seemed like when he set the tone on Jaden Ivey, the way he did it, I think they love Jaden Ivey. Jalen, is it Jaden Ivey? Why am I calling him Jaden Ivey? I think his name. They love Ivey, right? They love Ivey, and I think when he did that, put him on the bench, no transparency. It's one thing to do a guy like that who's a problem child. But Jaden ain't did nothing wrong. He's a good guy. I mean, he took it well. I mean, he did the erase everything on social media thing and all that. I would say you shouldn't do that. But, his father started speaking out. But you want to protect your children. But the best way is just keep working. But I think Monty helped him grow as a player. Long story short. Adversity make you grow as a player. Adversity make you better as a player. And I think that adversity that Monty put him in, that made him a better player. And his leg injury, he back walking, made him a better player. And it's going to make him a better person. But I think him alienating, Jaden Ivey, I think that pissed people off. It just seemed like he let them do whatever he wanted to do. It seemed like he wasn't coaching. And, this is a guy, I think, one of his wives passed away. I think another one got sick. So it was a guy that already said, I'm going to take a year some change off. That's what we thought. So his heart really wasn't in it. I think with Dwayne Casey's well too, he just let the kids do what he want to do, learn without error. And I think Monty came in and said, well, you're not going to just let these guys play and make errors. We're going to pretty much, make them pay for their errors. And I just think he just never really translated. Real talk. I don't think he really ever translated to the players. I don't think he really was, emotionally invested. And with Troy, it seemed like he had the right idea other than drafting Killian Hayes. It just seemed like, as far as the support cast, he just didn't do a great job. Even going to get Bojan Bogdanovic, he's more of a guy that like to put the ball on the floor than a sharpshooter. So he had an issue with getting sharpshooters and defenders. And, that's the first thing Jerasian Langdon did. He went out there and got a 3-and-D guy in Tim Hardaway Jr., got another 3-and-D guy in Malik Beasley, got another 3-and-D guy in Tobias Harris. And that's where Troy Weaver really was lacking at, was defending that 3 position, that 4 position. They had struggled. They tried to make Isaiah Stewart a 4. They tried everything at the 4 that they had personnel-wise. They struggled at the 4 position. That's one of the biggest turnarounds for the Pistons, is that they found the guy that come in and defend the 4 position. And he could shoot the ball. And people getting on Tobias, I'm like, do y'all remember how bad they were defending the 4? They went to one of the better defensive teams compared to last year because in their ability to cover the 4. Anything else Tobias gave us covering that 4 was a bonus. Shooting, posting up, rebounding, it's a bonus. We just need you to defend that 4. Hit that corner 3, defend the 4. Defend first, though. Defend the 4, hit the 3. He's been able to do that, and that's been a huge part of them turning it around. That way you move Stewart to his natural position as a backup center. JB Bickerstaff has been making some adjustments. He said, okay, Jalen Duren wants the ball a little bit more. Let's get it to him. Guess what? Jalen Duren doing? Shooting free throws a lot better. He's passing the ball. So he's just not like, I'm getting the ball and I'm dunking. I'm going to score. I don't care because I may never get it again. No, because we're going to let you touch the basketball. And now that he's touching the basketball, guess what? He making the right play. Either he going back up with it, he making an extra pass, or he making the assist pass, or having a hockey assist. So they're making all the right adjustments. And I kind of can see, and I kind of talked about this in the Clipper reaction video I did the other day, I kind of can see why in Cleveland it didn't work with Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell, they're isolation players like the majority of the league. So you come into a situation with a veteran guy like Donovan Mitchell, who one of the better guys, Garland, who one of the better guys in the league. When you come in a situation with a guy like Mitchell, it's like LeBron. They refuse to take the ball out their hands. It's hard to get the ball out their hands. And what JB Bickerstaff is doing that I don't know a lot of people talking about, they playing with Cade. It ain't just Cade with the ball in his hands. They giving it going. They backdoor cutting. They calling plays out the. Inbound plays out the timeout. They moving without the basketball. So it ain't just isolation. No, they cutting. They backdoor cutting. They pick and rolling. They got a lot of motion going on in this offense, and I think JB Bickerstaff in Cleveland, they didn't like that. They wanted to isolate in Cleveland. Isolate. Let's go one-on-one. That's how all players are. Blame AAU. And I say this all the time. This is why Americans struggle in international play, because in international play, you can play traditional zone. And it's going to be hard for you to go 1-on-5 in traditional zone. ISO. Versus 5 men who don't have a defensive, defensive 3 seconds defensively, whatever they call it, they made up in NBA. A traditional zone makes you a better offensive rebounder. It makes you a better shooter, and it makes your team better at moving the ball. When you play that traditional zone, it makes your team better at ball moving it. That's a fact. So that's very interesting, man. But I just think those are the nuances. I think wanting to be here, having the plan, executing the plan, laying down structure, getting the right guys around the guy. I think Troy Weaver was halfway right with most of his draft picks. I think he was all the way wrong with the guys he got to surround those guys. So I think he gave up on guys like Bruce Brown a little bit too prematurely. But I think his eye for talent, draft-wise, can be utilized in the organization. But his eye to how to surround the talent, I think that's where he came up short at. But hey, check out Detroit Lions Talk, Pistons Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.